Hi folks, how are you this evening? Brian here with Geomagnetic Earth Watch on Thursday, January 26, 2023 on our planet. And on our planet, you have until 2025. You have 2 years to prepare. Predictive programming is not just coming from me. I have my own reasons to believe 2025, between now and 2025, things are going to start wrapping up big time on different levels. I'm not just talking about our planet's responses to our weakening magnetosphere and the changes going on below our feet. I'm also talking about the globalist elite, what they're telling you. So by 2025, I and they are telling you about some global changes coming up. Me, again, I align what I see, not just looking at my computer every day for earthquakes and heat signatures and all that. It's the world and those beginning of sorrows and the birthing pains. And if you're a believer and if you're awake, then you have no choice but to accept what's going to be happening in diverse places. But let's stick with predictive programming. Now remember, I spoke of we're on that multiple lane highway. All right. At the end of the highway, all those lanes are going to converge to the timelines that I see coming together. What the evil elite are doing, the earth changes, what scripture says leading into tribulation, book of Revelation, how everything's coming together. That's at the end of the highway. But you don't have to stay on those lanes to the very end. There's opportunities to take the off-ramps, to get off that highway. But you don't have too much time left, in my observational opinion. So let's get back to predictive programming. All right. The World Economic Forum is openly broadcasting and saying that there will be a major cyber attack to affect us globally and probably be on the grid system. Think, people. Could this just be a predictive programming to prepare you in a cover story for what they feel the probability, high probability, as we come close to 2025 during solar maximum, the increased possibility, likelihood of a major solar flare hitting our weakened magnetosphere, taking out the grid? That is the one unknown variable. So forget about 2023's 2040, the world turning over and all that crap, garbage. Forget about the flood map. You know what? That flood map was? It was a sea level rise map. Based on what? That was a fear porn visualization put out to scare the shit out of a lot of people. The flood map. Doomsday fear porn. So that multiple lane highway leading to Earth's catastrophes that I expect to start up, earthquakes in diverse places, pestilence and famine, and what the evil elite are planning for us, which is just preparing the stage for his arrival. Next, Bill Gates openly stating that by 2025, we will have the next pandemic, but far, far worse than the last plandemic. So let's go back to the last plandemic. Let's jump back and forth. Again, just like with Event 201, which was a tabletop meeting hosted by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation just before the came out, about, well, what would happen in case we have a caused by bats? How would it affect us economically, our governments, and all that? Planned. Event 201. And he's doing it again. He's telling you there will be another pandemic within the next 2 years by 2025, and it's going to be a lot worse than the last one. So once again, this was created first, but they needed a reason, an excuse to use it. Therefore, as everybody realizes it now, they created the pestilence. And so now they want to build these manufacturing plants in England, Australia, Canada to produce hundreds of millions of doses of the mRNA substance. Now there's talking about it, injecting it into our food supply system. You go to the grocery store, you don't know if it has it now. Just another reason to learn to grow your own food and maybe buy from local markets and sources where you hope it's more trusted. Predictive programming. You're setting up your psyche. They're telling you what's going to be happening by 2025. They're preparing you for a total grid down situation. And you know what? You don't need to attack 100% of all the country's grids. You only need to attack a percentage. If you take out 1/3 of all the grids, that puts too much pressure on the other grids, causing them to shut down. Jabby, jabby. And like I said, the last pandemic was just a trial run. Now, yet again, using the mainstream to broadcast, the vast majority of the entire Chinese population is all infected with the variant, but go, be gone with you, go travel around the world, go on your Chinese New Year, spread the... People, how many people have died from this variant? Where's all the dead bodies? Where's all the mass graves? Where are they all? To justify more of this and all these manufacturing plants they're building for all this. So yes, the World Economic Forum is telling you that there will be probably a massive cyber attack, global, probably the grid, by 2025, which is when we reach solar maximum, which is when we're going to have the major X-class flares popping off, hitting our very, very weak planet, and probably taking down our grid system. A cyber attack is an unknown. It's easy for them to use it, to say it. Well, we don't know where it came from. It was a cyber attack and it hit our system and took everything down. How convenient. So I just wanted to babble on a little bit today before I go to bed. Can't find any notable earthquakes today or anything else really happening. But it is frightening, and you don't have too much time to swerve off the highway and take off that off ramp. Get away from the cities, get away off of the coastal areas, stay away from volcanoes, start establishing your own communities. When you go for your country drives I was speaking of, and you go camping, look for those communities, look for those like-minded people. Hook up with someone like-minded people. I'm going to be doing it. I know there's one person just north of me, south of Kamloops. I'm going to be heading up your way because I want to go exploring. Wherever you live, whatever country, whatever state, whatever province, get out there and do it this spring. "2025 Predictive Programming." That's what all the elites are saying. That's what Klaus Schwab is saying. That's what Bill Gates is saying. No one else is saying it. Anybody seen Gene lately? He's gone into hiding. Or is he trying to figure out his next con? Time flies, man. Where did the last 3 years go? A lot of people think, okay, it's over now. We can get back to life. Digital dollar is coming. If you ask me what scares the crap out of me, that scares the crap out of me. Think about the digital dollar and what it's going to mean. Right now, we have the freedom of choice to use cash, debit card, checks, lines of credit, credit cards. That's our freedom. We can decide how we want to pay for things. Not for long, because you're going to have you're going to have to be tagged digitally in order to have the digital dollar put into your government account. I'm not talking about tagging in here, well, maybe later, but why do you think your smartphones were invented? Think about what you can no longer do once they implement a digital dollar system. And if you want your government pension, or in my case, a disability pension, then you have to be part of the digital identification system. Let me put it to you another way. If you don't want to be part of the digital tagging system because you recognize that it's going to be working into the mark of the beast or the beast system, then you have to accept you don't get your pension, you don't get your disability pension, you don't get any medical benefits, you can't pay your property taxes, you lose your house, you can't pay your bills, you can't buy your food, etc., etc., etc. That's what it's going to mean. It's another off-ramp you're going to have to look for. I want nothing to do with it. No, I refuse to take this because I knew right away from day one. I'm not going to accept the digital dollar. I'm not going to be digitally ID'd by the government so they can track me and control me. I'm sorry, Mr. Gunderson. We feel you use too much of your carbon, whatever. So we're going to withdraw that from your digital bank. So think about these things, folks. Yeah, 2 years, maybe less. I follow everything that's outlined in scriptures. The things expected to happen before we get into tribulation, the earthquakes in diverse places, the pestilence, the famines, the signs from above. That perhaps they don't want us to see, and that's why in my province, in the past 4 months, I had 2 days of sunshine. That's it. 4 months, 2 days of sunshine. What's it like where you live? Could you see anything up there? Well, unless something pops off tonight, you're not going to see me until tomorrow. Have a swell evening.